lines are all crooked. Oh, that's better. This is the weekend that so many USans head off into the deserts, in the Black Rock Desert here on the West Coast, to put up with a lot of dust, storms, wind. Of course, they have all the amenities of their luxury hotel accommodations in the desert, but we're not here to talk about that. Let's go on. So, once again, there's been a new study out. Imagine that. This time it's in the journal Science. They say basically the bottom line is, if we allow climate change to go on unchecked, then vegetation will look completely different than today in a very short time. It's that timing that they're talking about. They say it's going to take place in about anywhere from 100 to 150 years from now is where we're going to see great changes in vegetation. I disagree. I think it's so much sooner than that. Like some others say, 15 years at the most before we see major changes in our food crops and in the vegetation around us, if it hasn't all burned out by then. So this new study is based on fossil records and temperature records going back 21,000 years to present. So the most changes you'll see is from mid to high level altitudes here in the US. In other words, the mountains, the foothills, they're saying this will see it first. The lower vegetation will climb up the mountain and the high vegetation will disappear. So this happening, they say, is greater than 60%. If we keep temperatures at 2°C or lower, which is impossible in my opinion, it'll only have a 45% chance of happening in the next 150 years. I think the timing of this study is so far off. The consequences of these changes will be, let's see if he can do it. He does it. No place you can go without a human nearby. So this effect will be on the forest, the lakes, and the rivers. These places will change completely. Yeah, don't we know it? Especially if our government has anything to do with it. The reason I say that it's impossible that we're going to keep the temperatures at 2°C above pre-industrial levels is because right now ocean temperatures in the southern seas are 3 degrees above normal temperature and have been there for a while now and are rising. Once the ocean temperatures start rising, the land will go up very quickly. In fact, next year we have a El Nino coming, which means nothing but heat. Okay, well, let's move on. I've got something more to show you. Quite interesting.
Maybe even on the coast, disguised in regalia, and making the most of the most of
So let's go and take a look at whether we are or are not going to do something about our problem with greenhouse gases. Well, let's go look first at sea level rise. This is generally throughout the whole world, they average it all out. So it's either more or less of where sea level rise, depending on where you are. Now, let's go find out, since we see that sea level rise is quickly going up and that sea level temperatures are quickly going up, let's go find out whether CO2 is going up. And as you can see, quite clearly, it's going up. Let's go check methane. How's methane been lately? Well, as you can see, it's spiking absolutely straight up. How about nitrous, N2O? It's another very powerful greenhouse gas that's also on the rise if we look here on this chart. And the one that's so depressing to me, because it's the one that's so important, let's go look up what oxygen levels in our atmosphere are doing. They're crashing. You know, I don't know how long before we end up with too little oxygen to breathe. But as you can see on this chart, it's very close in the offing, if this chart is right at all. So on this Labor Day weekend here in the US, will people drive less, use less energy? I kind of doubt it. Humans seem to be in a destiny kind of situation. They're not willing to stop using greenhouse gas, fossil fuels, or cause methane by eating meat, or lots of nitrous in farming, and other industrial processes are causing nitrous to go up. And why is oxygen crashing? Well, look around, look up in the sky at the smoke that we had all summer. Here in California, August, September, and October are our biggest fire season. So right now we're in the midst of our fire season, and we haven't even seen anything in the Bay Area at all this year, really. But it's still early. It's only coming into September. So I've always said that when I think that climate change is going to overwhelm humanity and kill us all off, I'll quit the blog. It's getting pretty close, isn't it? My thinking that humans will do what's necessary to save us, well, jeez. But I will keep working on it to try and let people understand how climate change is so easily mitigated, but not in our lifetime. We've got it for life. There's not much we can do about it. It's been very busy. Life seems to be that way now. So I appreciate all the ups and the downs and the new subscribers, and until next time.